Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Absolutely Not Podcast. I'm your host, Heather McMahan. If you're listening to this, well, guess what? We're going back on the road, baby. Starting this episode off strong. I'm doing the Bamboozled tour. Heather, where'd you come up with the idea of being bamboozled? Well, we're all being bamboozled these days. We're going to talk about all the things that make us uncomfortable. And I cannot wait to get into it. Bamboozled. One of my favorite words. I thought of the idea of bamboozled. It was, I love the word flabbergasted. I love a bamboozled. But was a particular party that I went to in high school that this kid Dave threw at his house. And his dad came down the stairs when he saw us raging. And he just screamed, "I have been bamboozled." Because his son Dave told him he was staying at a friend's house. I guess his parents went out of town. And then the neighbors called. His parents were at the lake, and the neighbors called and said, "Hey, your son's throwing a rager." And I'll never forget when this dad came down the stairs, opened the door, the basement door at the top of the stairs. And he just looked, and I remember making eye contact with my friend Dave's dad. And I looked at him, I was like, "Oh, we are in trouble now." And he just yelled, "We have been bamboozled. This is a bamboozlement." And he said, he must have said 10 times to his son Dave, "You bamboozled me." And I feel that is appropriate for how a lot of us feel right now, just in life, marriage, being single, trying to have babies, not having babies, work, being forced to rise and grind, hustle hard. I cannot wait to dive in deep, to become dialed in to all of the things that we are feeling right now and say it live on stage and to giggle our asses off. I have missed y'all. I really have. There is nothing that brings me more joy than being on the road and seeing y'all. The shows are going to be outrageous, out of control. I'm going to be trying some new things. Of course, there's new material. This is a completely new tour. So if you saw my Netflix special, Son I Never Had, then you saw Breadwinner. This is completely new material. Okay, I've done 2 different tours. We had the farewell tour, we had the comeback tour, and now we're doing the Bamboozled tour. So some of y'all get a little confused. It is a little odd that some of y'all are still confused. You're like, "Well, I saw you at the Fox in 2019, honey. That was three tours ago. All new material, baby." But let me pull up real quick our dates. I'm going to read these out to you. I know this is monotonous. We're going to, so I'm doing some clubs. I'm going to be warming up the show in Florida. I'll be there, Dania Beach, the Dania Improv. I don't know. Dana, Yeah, great. We love it. January 24th and 25th, I'll be in Florida. And then February 5th and 6th, I'll be in Huntsville, Alabama at the Levity Live. So that will be the club shows, which are really fun because that's me trying out all the new material, working it out with the crowd. Those are really interactive shows. And then the theater tour starts in Birmingham, Alabama at the Lyric Theater starting February 7th. Then we're hitting Las Vegas on February 15th, Kansas City, Missouri, March 7th. March 14th, Tysons, Virginia. That Capital One Hall is my favorite. Also, that March 14th show is going to be my birthday show. So get excited. My birthday's the next day. So I don't know what's happening, but it is going to be, honey, we are putting on the damn dog, and that's all you need to know. Then we're hitting Raleigh, North Carolina, March 29th, Phoenix, Arizona, April 25th, Los Angeles, the Orpheum Theater, April 26th, Chicago, Illinois. I'm coming back to the Chicago Theater on May 3rd and playing the fabulous Fox Theater on May 17th in Atlanta, Georgia, and then the Beacon, the iconic Beacon Theater on May 30th in New York. If you don't see your city on here and you're like, "Heather, there's a billion other markets. Why aren't you coming back to?" I will be coming back to those markets in the fall. So we have purposely only put the spring on sale right now because we're also doing the cruise. Don't forget about the cruise. Because hopefully in the late summer, fall, I will be filming a TV show that I have I will be the executive producer, star, writer, and all of that. I'll be wearing a billion hats. So I wanted to carve out that time in the fall to hopefully be finally getting one of these fucking television shows across the finish line. But I feel good about this one. So do not wait. If you live in, I don't know, Ohio, do not wait. Get your tickets now. Travel, grab a buddy. Use those Delta points, okay? Come on, come see me on the road, because while I know that these are my big markets and this is where I'll be hitting, I would love to come to some of these other cities. I mean, we don't even have like Seattle on there. I don't even have Texas. We will be adding those. But if this TV show gets picked up, which you and I both hope it does, your girl's going to be booked and busy. Oh, sorry. Anyways, letting you know what's actually going on behind the scenes. But I am very excited. We have been bamboozled. We have been bamboozled. Speaking of bamboozled, I don't know what's going on with my brain. It's been a little bit of scrambled eggs. This happens around the holidays. But I was in the shower this morning and I completely forgot to wash out the conditioner. Today was my everything shower day. Every woman knows about an everything shower. You're doing an exfoliation, a deep shave, which means you do one stroke over the legs and you still get those little bumps, and then you go over and then you do another one. I mean, I'm coming out there smoother than Moodang, period. So you do a scrub, you do a deep shave, you do a deep conditioner, all of it. I don't know what happened to my brain though today. I forgot to wash out the conditioner. So the bottom half of my hair is flat and very, very, very thick and creamy. And I had the Dyson Airwrap, and I kept trying to blow it out, and I realized, why isn't this shit drying? It's because I never washed anything out. The top of the skull, had a little bounce about an hour ago. And now it is getting so tacky on the back of my neck that I can feel the stickiness because there's just clumps of conditioner that never got washed out. So that everything shower has been ruined for me today. But this is the story of my life. I go in with the best intentions. I'm like, today's the day, it's happening, and then it all falls apart. And that's what we're going to be talking about on the Bamboozled tour. I'm very excited. It's going to be a blast. Also, man, playing some of my favorite theaters ever. It's just going to be fun. So let's get into it. Let's do the damn thing. Hope y'all are pumped for the holidays. There's a lot of shit going on, but we're going to do it together. I'm laying low these holidays. I usually go away. I usually travel and do a lot, but I decided I'm going to put my nose down, finish some scripts that are due, get ready, because I'm doing, I don't know if I'm allowed to say. Why is everything such a fucking secret? I'm doing something January 5th, so I got to get ready for that. And, just Google it. What's happening in Hollywood January 5th? Yeah, I mean, come on. So, what am I talking about? I'm laying low, which is nice. I never do that. I usually towards the end of the year, we add as much to the plate as we can. But no, your girl's vibing, chilling. I'm going to be infrared sauning the shit out of my Christmas time. And then we'll be hitting the ground running. January through May is going to be like a dead sprint of excitement. So I'm pumped about that. Anywho, shout out to the Ole Miss Rebs. Hey, hottie fucking toddy, baby. We beat the Georgia Bulldogs. And if you don't care about sports, if you're listening to this from Australia or Canada or hell, I don't know, San Jose, California, and you don't give a shit about the Southeastern Conference football, that's fine. All you need to know is your girl's a winner. And I had such a blast in Oxford this past weekend. I will say we were slipping and sliding at our tailgates. It was muddy. I have not been to a single tailgate this year where it hasn't been an absolute downpour. And if anybody came up to me and wanted to say hi or took a photo and I seemed a little grumpy, I apologize. The weather really threw me for a loop. I swear to God, the barometric pressure changed and your girl was there was a little sadness, a heaviness on the eyes. But I got up and I did SEC Nation, which was super fun with my girl Laura Rutledge and Chef Elizabeth High School, who I just adore. So that was really fun, getting up early and popping over to do the damn thing for ESPN. But then we were in the Grove all day and it was just downpouring. But a woman came over to take a photo and I legitimately choked on a chicken salad sandwich and I wasn't really right for about an hour after that. It was like if you've ever choked and you kind of feel it stuck in your esophagus and you're trying to burp it up and then also have a conversation, but you're also crushing a high noon. There was a lot of variables rolling around in my body, in the air. We were ducking for cover under a tree, under a tent. It was not an ideal tailgate kind of day. But damn it, if the Rebs didn't beat the Georgia Bulldogs, and I'm going to tell you right now, I know I have a lot of Georgia Bulldogs that listen to me, but y'all got a little too cocky. All right? Y'all know that for a minute there, you turned into the Alabama fans. For a little bit there, y'all got a little too cocky. And all I'm saying is sometimes the Lord shows up in a mysterious way. He shows up he embodies, or he sends his spirit down to the earth to take over a young man named Jackson Dart, who's our quarterback at Ole Miss. And, he was throwing for Jesus. And that's all you need to know. Jackson Dart was throwing for Jesus because Jesus said the Georgia fans need to soften that bark. We were walking into the stadium. Now, first of all, not a shout out, a big go fuck yourself to my friend Tyler. And Tyler, I won't say your last name because you'll hear this and know who you are. I bought tickets from you. And I should have looked closer. It was on me. I didn't go on StubHub because for some reason I got nervous about StubHub. But I bought tickets from a Georgia Bulldog. And this motherfucker sold me tickets that were so far up in the nosebleeds in the Georgia student section. I got up to row 55. And I didn't realize it was basically touching the clouds. I'm getting pelted with rain. I'm next to... The median age around me was 14. Okay? I was looking around going, why are all these young men barking at me? Because I was in the Georgia Bulldog student section. And I just want y'all to know, I don't get preferential treatment anymore. I'm walking into the stadium and I'm like, I don't feel like we're going in the right area. I feel like these were box seats. Were these not box seats? Okay, surely we're close to the field. No. Your girl was so deep in Gen Pop, it wasn't even funny. I was a part of a chain gang, okay? Me and the boys in our ponchos were singing Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, coming for to carry me home. It was not great. So Tyler, you bamboozled me. Period. Oh, Tyler's a real estate agent in Atlanta, so he's going to get nervous. But either way, I love you, Tyler. Thank you for the tickets. They were still expensive, and you bamboozled me. And then, after we won, he had the audacity to text me, never selling my tickets to you again. And I said, why is that? And he's like, because you guys won. Yeah, motherfucker. Because your girl, who's used to being a little passenger princess somewhere in a box or on the field, was up in the nosebleeds. And you know what I brought? I brought that rebel energy to the Georgia student section. I was scared for a second, but then all the girlfriends of all the frat bros were like, Heather, we love you. Or really, they were like, Heather, my mom loves you. So I was safe. And everyone was actually lovely, but I was safe. So either way, a little bamboozled there. But we were walking into the stadium, and it's a packed game. There's not a single open seat in the stadium. And it was very claustrophobic for a minute, everybody trying to get into the stadium at the same time. It's also pouring rain, so everyone's ducking for cover. And this Georgia fan yells, this stadium sucks. And he's right next to me. We're shoulder to shoulder. He keeps screaming, this stadium sucks. Because there is a traffic jam trying to get to our seats. When the third time rolls around for him to yell, this stadium sucks, and I just yell, go fuck yourself. It's raining. And that's when my edible had kicked in. And you know me, I don't really speak up. I don't stir the pot. But I had to shut this guy up, and that's when I knew. When I was starting to get mouthy, I knew the Rebs were going to win. That's all I'm saying. But again, apologies to any of the gals who took a photo with me after I had choked on the chicken salad sandwich, because it was touch and go there for about an hour and a half. And then I took an edible to calm down. And then I couldn't really form a sentence or use words. So again, if you saw me out and about and I seemed a little off, it's because I almost died and then drugged myself to forget about the trauma. That's where I was at mentally on Saturday. We had a phenomenal time, though. Stopped by the library sports bar. Shout out to the crew over there. Watched the rest of the game at the sports bar, and had a gorgeous dinner at St. Leo, one of my favorite spots on the square. And it was just overall a beautiful weekend. Hung out with some of our friends who are Georgia Bulldog fans, watched them absolutely tuck their little tails between their legs. But here's the thing. Anytime anybody comes to Oxford, Mississippi, they always have a damn good time. And that's what I'm known for, to entertain, to show you a good time, rain, shine. You know, whether you've got diarrhea or the flu, you're going to come to the Bamboozled tour and absolutely laugh your tits off. And that's what it's about. We have a lot of voicemails to get into, which we'll get into here in just a moment. Again, you can always call into the hotline, 800-213-7503. Really was thinking about y'all today. We're living in weird times. We are. We all felt the energy shift last week during the election. You know, whether it went positively for you or not, you can't tell me that there wasn't a weird thickness in the air. But I'll tell you what, I am choosing positivity. I'm choosing joy. And living well is your best fucking revenge. And I don't know who needs to hear this, but this is what I want you to do. For the next 9 months, I want you to concentrate on getting that bag. And I don't mean going on DHgate and getting a fake YSL. I mean getting that coin. I want us to manifest that money flowing in so hard in Q1 because, baby, when you're financially independent, you ain't got to worry about nothing. You do actually have to worry about a lot of things, but regardless, I just think that that's we just need to be so focused on self-care in the next couple months that's all we're dialed into. And I know that seems delusional, but that's what I'm doing. Self-preservation, baby. And I would also like to suggest a very fun Spotify playlist to listen to get you in a good mood. It's called Funky Dance Groovy Saturday Morning. My friend Olivia made it. It is phenomenal. Funky Dance Groovy Saturday Morning. Olivia, you could have done a better job with the title of this. Funky Dance Groovy Saturday Morning. It sounds like something somebody's aunt made, but it is a phenomenal playlist. Put that on in the morning while you're beating your face, while you're feeding your kids. It's good vibes. So if you're feeling a little uneasy right now, stressed out, anxious, I want you to just take a second, go outside in the woods, scream as loud as you possibly can, put fingers up to the sky and just be like, "We've been bamboozled." And then I want you to go back into your home, hug your family members, and get your shit together. Put on the Funky Dance Groovy Saturday Morning playlist that my friend Liv made, and I want you to just say, you're going to lead with kindness and positivity. Okay? Also, then on your way to work and or school or Pilates or rehab, maybe, you're going to divorce court. I don't know what your morning looks like. I then want you to put on a very specific song, okay? The song is called Life. And let me tell you who sings it. Okay, it's by Jamie XX and Robin, Robyn, not to be confused with my mother. Jamie XX and Robin. It's a song that came out this summer called Life. And what I want you to do, I think it's probably better if you get the kids out of the car. All right, you drop the kids off at school. You just went and got your Chick-fil-A biscuit or whatever the hell you're getting on the way to the office. And I want you to roll down your windows or open that sunroof. I want you to let that crisp fall air, or maybe if you're down in the bayou, that stifling thick heat kind of waft into your car. And then I want you to roll the windows down and I want you to turn that song on. And I want you to drive to your 9 to 5 and feel that energy inside of you. And whatever kind of emotions it stirs up, you release them, you leave them in the car, you let them flow out the window, and then you choose your life. Okay? If somebody needs a positive pick-me-up, this is absolutely me disassociating and living, with delusions of grandeur, right? But either way, for 3 minutes and 25 seconds. You're gonna just live life. The song brings me so much joy. All right. That's what I've been doing. I felt the just the sun on my cheeks today. I even got stuck in traffic and I said, I'm not going to let it bother me. I'm not going to let it bother me. Santa's coming. Jesus is Lord. The Rebs won. What am I talking about? I mean, this is really delusional. I'm returning a bunch of clothes to Shop today because nothing fit. So that's money back in my pocket. Very exciting. Also, does anybody know anything about Portugal? Would love if you guys could call in with some recs. I'm feeling a Portuguese moment. You know, I love Italy. I'm not cheating on Italy, but I am feeling like I want to be at a tapas bar, not a topless bar. Okay, I said tapas. Although I do love topless bars as well. You take me to a titty bar, give me a Mick Ultra and a buffalo chicken dinner, bye-bye. Peak. When I do eventually retire from comedy, my retirement party better be at the Claremont Lounge. Period. And I better be taking Goldschlager shots out of a tiny little medicine cup. Because that's how we do in Atlanta. But I'm feeling a little Portuguese moment. Been doing a little research on the TikToks and the Instagrams. I'm thinking about renting a house there next summer, and let's just vibe. Y'all can come through. Let me know if you're in the area. We'll do dinner. We'll have some nice wine. I'm just feeling like mixing it up a little bit. I'm feeling a little frisky because I'm not going to let all this thick energy that feels heavy, I'm not going to let it affect me. I'm going to disassociate and wait on Santa. That's where I'm at. None of this makes sense, and it shouldn't make sense because this podcast is about absolutely nothing. But the Rebs are on top. They say dogs on top. No. No. Rebs on top. And yeah, that's where I'm at. I've been reading. The reason I'm having all this just wild optimism is because I was reading 2 books. Yes, I know. Surprise, Heather's reading. I have about 6 books on my nightstand. I said, I'm going to crack these bad boys open. Started reading a book about health and wellness. And for the first, I'd say 7 chapters, it basically tells you, put a gun in your mouth, pull the trigger. There's microplastics in the food. Everyone's dying. 1 in 2 people get cancer. You're fucked. Good luck. If you drink the water, the well's been poisoned. Even if you go out and get some vitamin D in the morning, the UV sunlight is still going to give you cancer. I mean, this book is basically doom and gloom. And I'm reading this to try and figure out some hormone balancing stuff. I'm really trying to cure the eczema. Give myself a nice little optimistic break. I get to chapter 7. I've listened to a podcast by this person. I get to chapter 7. There's still no, what are the action steps? What are the tools we're using to fix the microplastics? How can we find cleaner well water? I mean, do I need to start drinking out of life straws in my fucking pool? I don't know. So I shut that book last night. I was annoyed. I'm like, fuck this. I'm 7 chapters in and you haven't even told me how many steps I'm supposed to get. I mean, just give me an action step. I'm not asking for a lot over here. Fuck, you could have a chapter, this or that. Don't eat pomegranate seeds. Blueberries are better. Just something. Give me something. So I closed that book. That was negative. Then I'm reading this other book about how to be a good leader, and it's like, trust no one. Close that bitch. I said, well, then you're fucked. Then we're all living in paranoia. You know, I was cleaning out the garage the other day, trying to work through that anxious energy, and I'm looking at my neighbor sideways. She and I've had a great relationship, but her Shih Tzu looked at me weird, and I said, maybe she's an op. I don't know. I don't know. And then I had to recheck myself. I said, I'm getting a little cuckoo. I'm getting paranoid. I'm now starting to become I'm just starting to get way too weird. And I decided to get off the TikToks for a minute because that also started to get super toxic. So instead, I'm doing something even better. I'm spending tons of money on Etsy. When I tell you the things I have purchased on Etsy, I've got vintage Delta Airlines cups coming to my home. That's right. I have been purchasing Delta Airlines fine china that they used to serve on their flights back in the 60s when you could have a real knife on board. You know, I mean, you still can now, but you know what I'm saying. I ordered a vintage Miss Piggy book. So pumped about that. It's hold on, let me pull it up real quick. What did I get? I'm so fucking excited about this book. It is where is this? Hold on. Hang tight. Hold on, let me click on this. 90s Miss Piggy's Guide to Life book. The photos are incredible. It's written in the voice of Miss Piggy. And I'm so pumped about it. So this is what I've been doing. Taking a lot of marijuana edibles. Ordering on Etsy. I bought a bunch of cool art pieces, photography, some knickknacks. And I'm not a collector. That's also something I've realized. I'm a little jealous of people who like collect. Again, we all know my hobby is restaurants. All right. So I guess the only thing I collect is calories. But I was like, I don't want knickknacks. I don't want a lot of stuff. But maybe I'm leaning into some Miss Piggy and Delta memorabilia. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. With my time off in December, I'm going to be working a lot, so I'm going to redo the office at home. But I've been dialed into Etsy. I get why you girlies get nuts on the Etsy. You could type in, an urn for grandma that's painted like a crocodile skin, and you're going to find it. Anything you can imagine, anything you've ever dreamed of, it's on Etsy. And you're supporting small businesses, which I'm obsessed with. Hold on. Side note, speaking of small businesses, wow, had a new discovery. Stopped at a Buc-ee's, the infamous Buc-ee's in Leeds, Alabama, on the way to Birmingham. You got to go through Birmingham to get to Oxford. Anyways, Poppy Popcorn, Poppy, small batch, handmade, female-owned, out of Asheville, North Carolina, and Lord knows they need our support. Poppy has a dill pickle popcorn. Clean ingredients. It's fucking delicious. They are not sponsored, but I bought 2 bags when I was at the Buc-ee's. And it's tucked away by like the dog toys and the fancy clothing items. It's not tucked away with all the other popcorn because, they want you to buy the Buc-ee's brand popcorn. No. Poppy, Poppy, best fucking popcorn I've ever had in my life. To die for. Mwah, chef's kiss. So shout out to the Poppy team. But right now I'm deep into Etsy. I'm like, how weird can I make these Christmas gifts? How niche, how specific at a micro level. I want everybody in my family to open a thoughtful gift at Christmas and be like, just have one tear rolling down their face. Like, how did you know this is what I always wanted? I'm like, well, I'll tell you what. I found a woman up in Saskatchewan who made it, who made this little thing, this little trinket that you want out of the tears of a baby seal. That's all I want you to know is that's how niche and specific I want to get it. And also, if anybody has a plug to any Joan Rivers, Joan Rivers had a huge auction with Christie's when she died. Her estate did. There is, and I always look for items from her estate that people are reselling. They don't come across the interwebs very often. But if anybody finds some very specific Joan Rivers estate things, I don't care if it's a chair, an ottoman, I feel like spending money on something frivolous. And I really want a piece of Joan Rivers' estate. She had these gorgeous Tiffany's silver dog bowls that had her dog's name on them. That's what I wanted to buy when she died. But back then I didn't have 3 nickels to my name. And now I feel like just kind of buying myself a fuck you gift. And I would love for it to be very sentimental and be from Joan Rivers. Because you know who would be really just letting it fucking rip right now? Joan. Dude, Joan would be letting the boys know what was good. All right, anywho, let's get into the voicemails. As always, you can call in 800-213-7503. Here we go. All right.
Hi, Heather. It's your girl, Danielle, from Brooklyn, New York, originally from Long Island. I know you love our people. Absolutely not to the election results. I'm still coming to terms with it, but absolutely yes. And go with me on this one. I'm like sort of kidding, but I'm really not. I think Heather McMahan, 2028 ticket. McMahan can and she will. You're white, you're Christian, you schmooze, you love a blazer. And like, you'll just be the figurehead. We'll put, people to make the decisions, behind the scenes, stick in the Georgia law lady, other people who know what they're doing. But it doesn't matter. You clearly don't have to have any skills to lead the number one country in the world. If you're a good person, Heather, you won't fuck shit up.
Yeah.
I will be your campaign manager. I'm a lesbian. We are good at these things.
Ooh,
we
perfect.
golf, we legislate, and we get shit done. I'm spiraling. I'm like kind of kidding, but I'm not. McMahon can and she will, 2028. Give me a call. We'll start today. Love you. Bye.
I absolutely love this take. I, too, think that I'd be a great politician. You're right. I am a white woman. White. First out the gate, I'm white. That helps. That helps. We saw that in the last election. That helps. Woman, I don't know if that's going to help. I don't know if that's going to help. But I get a lot of comments online that men think I may not be a woman. So that could help. That could help a little bit. A lot of comments. What's up with this dude's tits? I've never seen a dude with such big shoulders. So honestly, the audience out there, especially in like the male comedian world, they already kind of think I might be a dude. I mean, I can pull the hair back and we can go for it. I mean, I can get this voice low. I can get this voice real low. I'm with you though. I don't know what I'm going to run for, but you already said it. I don't really have to know anything. I could still do this podcast. I could still say whatever the fuck I want. I got nervous. There's a job I really want, and it's on network television. And for a minute, I thought, well, I don't know if I could get the job because, I'm a comic. I've said crazy shit before, but that's my job. That I do comedy. But now, I think anybody can do anything. Also, with a lesbian behind me, forget it. Now, I do think we have to be very specific when it comes to policy. You have to have an opinion. You can't be wish-washy. This is what fucked up the Democrats. You got to go in and say, I feel X about Y. You know what I mean? I don't even really know what fracking is. I don't think it's good, but okay, this is just an example. Regardless, we got to come out day one and be like, we're going to frack. I don't know what fracking is. I've been catching up on Yellowstone, so I know they're always talking about, land and all that shit. Whatever it is. And you got to come out even more angry. So even if we're trying to do good, right? If we're like, everybody deserves clean water, we have to approach it the way I approach my new tour. We got to come out and be like, we've been bamboozled with dirty water, and just start screaming. And maybe if we come out and I've got a low pony and maybe a fedora on top, but my tits are still out at the top of like a sexy dress, so it kind of throws everybody off. They're like, is it a dude? Is it a woman? We don't know. But imagine my hair's pulled back and I'm just screaming in a megaphone. You know what no one's done for a minute? Megaphone that bitch. Megaphone the message. And I'm just like, we need clean water. All I'm saying is I think we could win. But you got to be specific. That's what Trump was good at. Whether you agreed with the policies or not, he's good at just saying a very specific, unhinged thing. And that's what we have to do. We can be really gentle with our message. We be like, we believe gays should be able to marry. But if you say it angrily, then everyone's like, yes, policy, specifics. That's what you have to do. Everyone should have rights. We've been bamboozled. That's what we have to do. And they will literally be eating out of the palm of our hands. I mean, I've held positions of office before. Pledge class president. I was student body president of my high school. New member educator of my sorority. I volunteer. I'm philanthropic. What's next? The White House. The fucking White House, bitches. That would be fun. It would kill me, and I definitely have to get some work done before we do it. Because I did notice Kamala has she looks good. She looks fresh. It looks natural. I don't know if she had any work done. But to be a woman in this game, I got to get this jawline. I got to get this a little tight before we hit the road. Before we start campaigning and start screaming out of a megaphone in a newsboy hat and my tits up to my throat, we're going to have to get maybe an upper bluff or something. Okay. Obviously. But I say you throw a couple power lesbians on the campaign trail with me, there's no stopping us. Maybe we rollerblade from town to town. That could be fun. I actually was laughing. I was driving home yesterday laughing about how stressed I bet Melania is having to do Christmas again. You know, she's like, I don't want to do the Christmas. Who the fuck cares about the Christmas? Who fuck cares about the Christmas? Well, bitch, guess what? Get out the tinsel. Call the 2 gays that are still your friend. And you better get to decorating. Although I heard something that she wasn't going to live in the White House. She's like over this shit. Homegirl renegotiated her prenup, all right? She ain't going back to Washington. I'm going to tell you that right now. Maybe, though, if I run, that could also be my thing. Like, yeah, would I like to live in the White House for sure? But I told you guys this before. I went and did a tour of the White House, and it's kind of being held together with duct tape. It's not as fancy schmancy as you'd think. It's really not. So maybe I get I have a compound, a nice Frenchy farm in Milton, Georgia. Build a huge palatial palace out there, my own little airstrip, and that's where I'm running the company from. The company, the country. I'll tell you who else would be a phenomenal campaign manager. Y'all don't know her specifically, but my manager, Maggie, this is her dream. This is her dream. Margaret, if you're listening to this, just get ready. I think we could do something in a couple years. There's nothing that you could do like the background check. You could call everybody I went to high school with and try and find some dirt on me. I've already told it. I'm a stand-up. I've already told it. It's out there. So really, I'm coming in fresh. And I could teach America how to give a 4-minute blowjob, and then you're out the door. So I'm just saying, maybe I'm the people's princess who's going to bring everybody back together. I like where we're going. You know what? We're living in wild times. And all you need to know is she believed she could, so she fucking did. Positive. Somebody send me a fedora ASAP. Okay, next voicemail.
Heather, I am so excited to see you are coming to Huntsville in February. I'll be about 2 weeks post-op of my breast reduction surgery, so hopefully, as long as I can pass the nicotine screening at my pre-op appointment. But I will be at Levity Live regardless on February 6th. So thank you so much for coming to my city. I wouldn't miss it for the world. I will be in the VIP section, of course. Mm-hmm. So if you see a bitch with her titties wrapped up, just say a little prayer for me and wish me luck on my journey to quit vaping. So I can get these saggy titties from hanging down to my fupa.
Yeah.
Also, just absolutely yes to you being a boss bitch. I'm an entrepreneur myself. I listen to your podcast every week, and it is just so encouraging to hear about your hustle and success. It keeps me going. It keeps me going and giggling through the week, so thank you so much. Hope you still well on the road and through the holidays. Love and light.
Love and light, sis. Congratulations on getting the new titties. I'm so excited for you. Any of my girlfriends who've ended up with a breast reduction say it's the best thing they've ever done. Actually, most people who ever get work done say it's the best thing they've ever done. And for the guys who are listening right now, and you're immediately recoiling, going, no, we like them big titties. There's a difference in a big titty and a long titty. Once the titties are going past the belly button, it's time to wrap them back up. If you can and you want. Okay, ladies, you live your life, your body, your choice. But I'm telling you what, I have not had children yet. But all my girlfriends say that's the first thing that these kids do. They suck you dry and then they leave you just with two floppy flapjacks laying across your chest. Now, you do have to quit smoking before you go under. So throw the vape in some Elmer's glue and let's just lock it the fuck up. Can you do the nicotine, the gum? Can you chew the gum? Can you start an oral fix? I mean, just start eating Cheez-Its. You know what I mean? Or something. Throw something down the hatch. But you gotta quit smoking before the surgery. That's a non-negotiable. Don't be a fucking idiot. They're also going to give you a pregnancy test that morning of too. So lock it the fuck up, bitch. Don't be humping dudes in Huntsville and quit hitting the vape. I know living in Huntsville is already the wild west, but you cannot be vaping if you want to get your titties done. Come on, bitch. Listen, we're going to have to start making sacrifices so that we can better ourselves. And if it means you got to take your vape and put it in front of your Honda CRV and run over it 10 times and then drive down to your local gas station and tell the guy running the joint, don't let me buy a damn thing that has any sort of nicotine in it for the next 3 months because mommy's getting new titties, then you need to do what you need to do. And as sisters in Christ, we need to be able to hold each other accountable. If Mandy needs new titties, then Samantha needs to keep her accountable. If you see something, say something. Because I'm excited. I can't wait to see the titties at the show. Let me tell you, the first time I ever played that club in Huntsville was one of my first shows ever on the farewell tour. A young woman came to the meet and greet. Her name was Annabelle. I'll never forget her. She lost a couple toes. They almost like amputated her leg. She got in a bad car accident. And she was trying to get on the stage to take a photo with me for the meet and greet. And she had a giant wrap on her leg and a cast and all this shit. She's like, Heather, I checked myself out of the hospital early so that I could come to this show. I was in a horrible car accident and had about 3 toes amputated. They wanted to take the whole leg, but were able to save it. And she was crawling across the stage. And I had to pick her up so that we could take a photo together. And I said, that's dedication. So if Annabelle can come to the show missing 3 toes, you can come with your new perky titties, bitch. I felt stronger than ever. Okay? We've got to get our shit together. You want them new titties? Quit fucking smoking, bitch. And you know I love a vacation cig and a Christmas cig. But if they called me tomorrow and they said, bitch, you get new titties, but you got to put down the vacation cigs, I would literally email the consulate of Italy and say, don't let anybody sell me cigs at the train station. Keep me accountable. But I am pumped to see how many people are getting titties for Christmas. I may or may not be showing up on the road with a little bit of a surprise. That makes me sound like I'm pregnant. I'm not pregnant. Not that I know of. That made me sound pregnant. I'm not. Well, you know what? I shouldn't have even said I'm not pregnant. I'm going to let y'all think that I am. Come get tickets. HeatherOnTour.com. Let's get to the next voicemail.
Hey, Heather. This is Katie from Lexington, Kentucky. I'm calling in. Originally, I thought this was an absolutely not, but after pondering over this, I've decided it's an absolutely. I have listened to you for years and adored every single episode, but one thing I've noticed is you're not as delusional as you used to be. I swear, people used to call in being like, Heather, absolutely yes, I just murdered my husband because he looked at another woman, and you'd be like, absolutely, it's what we love to see. Mm-hmm. But I'm feeling like women are calling in kind of being like, Heather, I'm sad. my dog just died. And you're like, absolutely not. We have bigger issues in this world. And honestly, absolutely. Like, I love it. You're really giving your fans the reality check that we need. You're not feeding into our delusions anymore. And while at first it was definitely hard, I've grown to it, and I like it. So absolutely, to not feeding in to women's delusions and putting them in their place. But also, absolutely not to not feeding into women's delusions because, you know.
Okay, so all you need to know about that voicemail is I have a lot of mixed emotions about that one. Let me say right out the gate, the reason I have had to keep it 100, as the kids say, is truly because the voicemails have become so sad. I haven't had a, girl, let me tell you what, I was popping my pussy down at Mardi Gras. Next thing you know, I found out I'm pregnant story in a minute. Y'all have actually hit rock bottom yourselves and have been calling in for like real legitimate advice. Now, I do think I give great advice. I think I'm a natural born leader and soon to be president. But Tina and I go through the voicemails. Well, Tina will go through them and then she'll send them to me because I like them to be fresh. I like it to be a surprise. But I'll come into the office. I'll say, Tina, how we doing? She goes, it's gotten real sad this Tuesday. Oh, these are getting dark. I don't know what happened to y'all. It used to be fun in the sun. We're fighting, but it's all lighthearted. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm going to say it. There is a thickness of reality going on. The Handmaid's Tale is back on Hulu. New season. Shit's happening. So I got to keep it real with you hoes. And listen, I deal with a lot of your delusions. Trust and believe if you saw my DMs, you'd be spinning in circles too. But even 6 months ago, when I think we were still kind of had our head in the clouds, the voicemails used to be giggles. And now they're getting real dark. So, hey, if you're listening to this, send me something positive. Also, the amount of dating advice I'm supposed to give you hoes, I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to Portugal next summer, with or without Jeff. Like, it is what it is. I told y'all, go international. You want to get dick down? Go to Europe. Get you some uncut dick and some small plates afterwards. I know, I've been telling y'all what's good. But some of y'all really have hit rock bottom. But we're not going to do that. What have I said? Yes, we may be disassociating, but we are going to be giggling. In the words of Taylor Swift, I'm a real tough kid. I can handle my shit. They said, baby, gotta fake it till you make it, and I did. Lights, camera, bitch, smile, even when you want to die. And that's it. I'm not going to finish it. Just that. Even when you want to die. He said he loved me all his life. Well, I don't know. I'll tell you right now, if something ever happened to Jeff, I would not be on tour. Oh, no. I'd actually be under the knife getting so much plastic surgery because I'd be like, fuck. Oh, God. I actually liked that man. Now I got to go out there and change everything about myself so some other man will find me less threatening. It's true. Whether you're a Swiftie or not, whether you like her or not. What did we talk about this summer? Brat summer. You know what? I had an epiphany. I was driving here. One of my friends, Anne Marie, she's not on Instagram. She doesn't listen to my podcast. I realized, I bet she does not know what brat summer is. Can you imagine being a woman in America and not having any idea what the brat summer is? She's one of my best friends in the world. In fact, nobody texts her because I want to call her on the way home. No, I think I need to ask her in person so she can't Google it. But imagine being that far off the grid that you didn't even get to have the joy of a brat summer. I cannot wait to get my 90s Miss Piggy's Guide to Life book. That's what we're doing. Dude, this is what we're going to do. Starting January 1st, 2025, we're living a Miss Piggy lifestyle. You know what she did? Told Kermit to sit the fuck down. You know what Miss Piggy did? Wore all of her diamonds, her pearls, and velvet gloves up to her elbows and ate lobsters and said whatever the fuck she wanted. That's the kind of delusion we're living with in 2025. You know who's a real tough kid? Miss Piggy. She dated a thin man who worshiped the ground she walked on, and that's the kind of energy we're going for. Now, Jeff worships the ground I walk on, and I also worship the ground he walks on. Neither of us are necessarily thin, tight, chubby as we like. But that's the kind of energy we need. And also, y'all, quit calling in with the saddest fucking shit ever. Now, listen, the holidays are coming up. I told you this last week. Or no, I'm sorry. That's coming out in another episode in like a week. If your family members die at Christmas, don't burden me with it, all right? I'm already fighting for my life because my dad died at Christmas. So keep it to yourselves at least till February 3rd. But I hear you. We've had to have a couple tough gut checks these last couple weeks. But you know what? What are we doing? We're rolling down our windows. We're putting on a very specific song by Robin and Jamie XX called Life. And you're going to blast it after you've dropped your kids off, after you've just gone to your Pilates class, after you've just left your divorce court hearing. Whatever you're doing, you're gonna let that song fill your heart, and that's the kind of energy we're going with into the next year.
Hi, Heather. This is Nicole from Mississippi, and I have an absolutely not for you. So my daughter just turned 6, and for her little birthday party, I'd ordered her some like knockoff Barbie party favors from Amazon. Okay. And they come in, and there's like little necklaces, keychains, buttons, stickers, so cute. So she stuffs all the bags, etc. The party happens, successful party. The favors are handed out. And after the party, I get a text message from one of the other mothers, and she's like, hey, my kids had so much fun, great party. But I just wanted you to know that these stickers were in the party favors. And she sends a picture of the sticker, and it says, big dick energy for the 6-year-old. Like, oh, my gosh, I'm so sorry. So absolutely not. I guess, honestly, to myself for not reviewing the stickers, for not reviewing the assembled party favors, but also absolutely not to Amazon for advertising this as appropriate girl party favors. So that was my mom fail for the week, and I can't wait to tell my 6-year-old why none of her friends are allowed at our house anymore because mommy put the big dick energy stickers in the party packs. So
here's the thing. You're a great mother. I love that you went on Amazon and typed in appropriate girl party favors. Well, obviously, big dick energy was a part of that fun pack. Now, I don't know if you typed in 6 and under. But if I'm going on there and I'm looking for bachelorette stuff, I'm literally typing in appropriate girl party favors. And if I didn't get a big dick energy sticker in my party pack, I would leave a bad review. I'd Karen the shit out of that seller on Amazon. Don't beat yourself up. My mom also had a little whoopsie daisy at one of my birthday parties. She went to Blockbuster and got gaslit by a 15-year-old pimple-faced braced kid at a Blockbuster. Now, for the young people who are listening, Blockbuster was a very specific place that you went on a Friday night and you physically had to rent a VHS. And sometimes you would get there and they wouldn't have the movie you wanted to rent. You wanted to see Home Alone? Good luck. Sometimes it wasn't available. That's how we saw so many shitty movies growing up, and also great movies. Because if you couldn't get Home Alone, you went for the next best thing. That might be Independence Day, also phenomenal movie. That's why millennials are so well versed in the arts and music, because everything wasn't accessible immediately. Sometimes you had to go to your second, third, fourth, fifth best choice. My mom got a movie. I think she thought it was Fern Gully, or like Never Ending Story. You know, that movie with the dragon or the flying dog or whatever the fuck it was. Never Ending Story. Na 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 na. Was it Labyrinth? Was with David Bowie? Yes. Why am I getting Never Ending Story, Fern Gully, Ferdinand?
Fern Gully is when they're chopping down the rainforest.
Fern Gully. They chopped down the rainforest. God, they're still. The guy was really hot. Tina's here. Yeah, the guy was really hot in Fern Gully. See, we used to have movies about saving the rainforest. Educational. My mom thought she was getting Fern Gully, and the guy working at Blockbuster took out the Fern Gully VHS and he put in an adult film. Close that bad boy up. We're all sitting around on our sleeping bags. It's movie time. We've got popcorn. I think we've got little individual bowls of ice cream. It is my like eighth grade birthday party. 3 minutes into the movie, there's a woman snorting cocaine off another naked woman's chest. Little girls screaming. Ah! Actually, I don't even think we were screaming. We didn't even know what was going on. My mom comes in to do a refreshment on the Sprites, and my mom starts screaming, "What the fuck?" And what does she scream? "We've been bamboozled." Because what did she do? She put her faith in some young guy named Colin who worked at Blockbuster, who wanted to fuck with the lady with the thick Boston accent. My mom started screaming. I remember I was laughing because what would you do as a kid when your parents like had a large emotional reaction in public at like your birthday party? I would just start giggling. When my dad died, I kind of laughed. Like I didn't know how to process the feelings and thoughts. So I'm laughing, thinking this is funnier than shit, while I'm simultaneously also just shutting down. My mom screaming, apologizing. I can't remember what else she slid in. Like we watched Aladdin. She's like, "Oh my God." She's screaming at my dad, "Kyle, go up to Blockbuster. Tell that little shit. His days are numbered." And my mom had to personally apologize. I mean, we only saw probably 3.5 minutes of this porno, but my mom had to personally apologize to every child and their parent as they were leaving the party. They got "we're sorry" notes in their goodie bags. Yeah, you may have had a fun-sized Snickers bar, but you also got, "I am so sorry. But let me give you an exact physical description of the kid who fucking gaslit us at the Blockbuster by North Lake Mall." You know what I mean? She probably went back, jumped out of her Jeep Grand Cherokee with a Polaroid camera, snapped a photo of this kid, and put it in everybody's goodie bags. Just so you know, this is what this kid looks like. You know, he was so high working at Blockbuster, thought that was the funniest shit ever. Was it traumatizing for a lot of us at my birthday party? It sure was. Did it probably, I don't know, mold me into the person I am today? Absolutely. Absolutely. I also had a birthday party where my dad had this giant Lincoln Town Car. Oh my God. Oh my God. I will bring Mary Beth Brandon, who's one of my best friends on the planet. I will bring her in here because she has been to every one of my birthday parties and she will vouch for these stories. Okay. I had one birthday party where my dad's Lincoln Town Car was parked outside, and my dad owned a computer software company. And I think he just had like a keyboard, like a loose keyboard in the backseat of his car. Somebody breaks into the car. The alarm's going off. My dad, it's a sleepover. We're like 10, so we're up at 1 o'clock in the morning. We're prank phone calling boys. All I remember is my dad running through the house, screaming in his underwear with a baseball bat in one hand and I'm pretty sure a loaded gun in the other, just being like, I've got it. And he runs outside and has to like check the damage to his Lincoln Town car. These are the core memories I have. So while you're beating yourself up that you accidentally stuck a sticker that said big dick energy, these kids, they'll forget it. They'll forget it. Don't worry. You did the right thing. You apologize to the parents. I'm so sorry. I'm leaving a 1-star review for the Amazon seller. Just want you to know that my dad ran through my birthday party in boxers and a Georgia Tech football t-shirt. Like he was running drills in Fallujah. Okay. It was not. Little girls are screaming. They're thinking the house is about to be attacked. I mean, I don't know if my dad had it. He may have had a weapon. He had some sort of weapon in his hand. I do remember that. That was another we're sorry note that had to go home to everybody in the goodie bag. Because my dad was like, hit the deck. We must defend the Lincoln Town car. Dude, my dad could have been into something shady because he drove a Lincoln Town car, had a big, solid aluminum briefcase, spoke Spanish, and smoked menthols. You know what I mean? Dude saw some things. But I'll never forget that. And that birthday, I didn't laugh. I definitely think I was crying because I was so embarrassed that my dad was like outside in the yard looking for whoever broken into his car, running down the street in his underwear with a baseball bat. But here we are. You can't say you didn't come to a McMahon birthday party and it wasn't memorable. And my mom was wildly cheap. So when I said earlier that you were getting a fun-sized candy bar, you were not. I've said this before, but you were never getting like Crayola brand crayons. You were getting the wax rose art crayons. You were never getting name brand anything. While the other kids had the leather white Ked sneakers, I had the canvas ones that were just constantly stained brown no matter how many times you bleached them. Because they were about $8 more. And I know what you're thinking, Heather, didn't you grow up with money? We didn't until we did. And then even when we did, Robin still was cheap as fuck. Dude, Robin just redid her will recently and she got the bill and she was like, handed it to me. And I said, what are you handing this to me for? Mom, that's your attorney bill. She changed, not her will, her estate or whatever. And she's like, well, are you going to pay for this? I said, Robin, this is your living will and estate. I had nothing to do with this. You got to pay your own attorney bills. It wasn't even that much money. So, well, I'm not paying for it. I'm not paying for it. I mean, she's trying to shake me down. She wants me to be in charge of whatever, if she, God forbid something happens tomorrow, I'm in charge, but I got to pay the attorney bill? What is going on here? Oh, God, why did I share that? Maybe I shouldn't have shared that, but you get what I'm saying. You get what I am saying. But this is where we've been at. I do think sometimes you need to have a reminder of big dick energy. Obviously not appropriate for a party, but we've all been there. And as moms too, y'all are doing the best you can right now. Ease up on the brakes. Just follow your heart this holiday season. Do the best you can for your kids and with your kids, but give yourself some grace. All right? These kids are already spoiled. They don't even have social skills like we were forced to have. I was actually talking about that with Jeff on our drive home from Mississippi. I said, do you know when I did the magazine sale for our school fundraiser, my dad gave me a little matching briefcase, and he would, of course, stand at the end of the driveway. But I had to go door to door with a sales pitch. He was close enough by that if somebody snatched me into their home, he was ready to go. So I wasn't going to get taken, but I had to go door to door in my neighborhood with my little briefcase. We made little individual business cards that had like my school name on it, all the information that was like a staple to a pamphlet to buy magazines. My dad wasn't just going to sign that off and say, here's $100 so you don't have to wear your uniform to school the next day. Because that was a big incentive. We had uniforms. So if you sold enough magazines, you didn't have to wear the fugly uniform to school. I had a sales pitch. I had paperwork. I had a damn Venn diagram to show you how if you donated to Greater Atlanta Christian School by buying a couple magazine subscriptions, what good it was going to do for our softball team, our JV softball team. I had to have a sales pitch. And I told my husband, if they have a school fundraiser, we're teaching them sales. I'm not doing it for them. Imagine how much more famous I'm going to be by the time I've got an 8-year-old. Forget it. Could I easily write a check? Yes. Will I? No. Strap on your rollerblades, Junior. Get out your briefcase and start working on your elevator pitch because I'm going to teach you the ways of the world. Don't know why I brought that up. Either way, again, Miss Piggy Energy 2025. Get out your fine china, hand wash it. We're not eating off the plastic anymore. Pull out the champagne flutes. We're living a Miss Piggy lifestyle. Okay? That's what we're doing. And you fuckers better call in with some good voicemails. None of this sad shit. We're turning this shit around. I know I'm PMSing and get a little sad too. That's fine. You're allowed to do that. But regardless, Miss Piggy energy better be up. And I got to get back to Etsy, so I got to let y'all go. I love you. I mean it. I hope you have a fantastic week. Go out, touch some grass, hug a sorority sister, buy a new vibrator, and live your life. What else? Oh, have a lot of fun interviews. I've been cranking out these interviews, and I know you're probably like, Heather, when's your next guest? Oh, they're coming. We have some fun interviews coming. Kind of saved them all for December. I want, I know while you're shopping and you're doing the damn thing, I really want you to have some extra giggles in your ears. Also need you to call into the hotline with any of your holiday anxieties. We did a specific Thanksgiving one the other day. I need to know what your holiday traditions are. What are you anxious about for Christmas? What's going on for New Year's? Let me know your holiday absolutely knots, and we will dive into that. Again, you can always call into the hotline, 800-213-7503. See you on the next episode. Ciao bella, arrivederci.